All right. All right. All right. What is good? What is good? What is good? Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike. Back again, once again, with another classic live stream for that ass today. Sincerely hope everybody is having a blessed one. Doc is feeling fantastic. Matter of fact, scratch that. Doc's feeling all right. Been a little under the weather a little bit lately, but I'm doing all right, people. Doc's been a little under the weather, man. Feeling a bug coming through, sinus issues and shit. You may be able to hear it in the way that I talk. And funny thing is, I'm not gonna put the camera on today because I ain't looking my best. But it's all good. Y'all didn't come here to see how handsome I am. Y'all came to hear the topic today. So official time check, 8:36 in the PM Eastern Standard Time, which makes it about 7:36 in the PM Central, which makes it about 5:36 for everybody repping that West Coast, and of course 8:36 in the AM Philippine Standard Time. Wherever you are reporting in the world, Doc is happy to have you guys in the building. Thank you for coming through. And thank you for participating in the chat. If you guys are interested in getting the BOOTYLOO Chronicles, everything that you need should be listed in the link in the description area below. But sometimes I'll be fucking forgetting, all right? But I see y'all coming through. Make sure you guys get the likes up on your way in and on your way out of this particular live stream. However long you choose to stay with the doc, make sure you caress, molest, and de-stress yourself all over that like button. You know it needs it. It has to have it. That is the reason why it is called the like button. Maybe I'll be on for a minute. Not sure how long I'm going to be on, but definitely wanted to make sure that I deliver a topic that was of interest to me. I was having a conversation. 9 times out of 10, whenever the doc comes to you guys with a topic, it always starts with a conversation. So I was having a conversation about to an individual and through an email, and he was explaining to me a situation that he was observing, and he was talking about how for some reason the guy that was in a relationship with the Filipina for some reason was making more money than him, which is awesome. That's the first. We don't get that all the time. But the situation was a little bit fickle. It was a little bit iffy. So it really inspired tonight's topic that says even in the Philippines, the odds are not always in your favor. Let's say that one more time. Even in the Philippines, the odds are not always in your favor. I can say for the majority of the time, with what the foreigner brings to the table, you can basically assume that the odds are going to always be in your favor. But sometimes, maybe not with you, but in some situations, the Filipina may have the edge. The way that I see it is we can't always assume that we have the advantage overseas. We just can't always assume. And I only say that because women nowadays, they're smart, and they know what to do to make you feel like you're the man and important. And in the situation that I was talking about earlier, what was happening was the young lady was manipulating the man, making him feel like he was in charge, making him feel as if he was the one making the decisions. But deep down inside, she was the one making the decisions. Now, I know this is going to sound fucked up for y'all because y'all going to be like, how is he making a decision, but she making the decisions? Let me explain. For example, if she wanted something, a new pair of shoes, whatever it may be, I can't really explain it because the situation was a little bit deeper because they were talking about buying properties and shit like that. She was the one making decisions buying property. So I was trying to find a lighter example because buying properties is big money spending and it's a big money commitment. But ultimately, she was convincing the guy to buy the property. You know what I'm saying? She was convincing the man to buy a property. Now, I can only assume that they had a good relationship. I can only assume that everything was on the up and up, but she was the one basically making decisions about where to buy the property, right? She was saying this is a good area here, we should buy here, because it was a joint decision. Apparently, he wanted this as well. We always encourage not to do this, but apparently this was something he wanted as well. He wanted his own house. He was tired of renting. So she was the one telling them, this is a good area. I like this area. This is good. And then she was just asking him, what do you think about it? Right? So ultimately, whatever he was saying, she was just agreeing with as long as he was agreeing that this was the area to buy him. So push came to shove. He buys the property. They're together for however long they're together. Then they start to have arguments. They start to have disagreements. You understand? This is where shit gets a little bit interesting because, again, we already know the 60-40 rule. So they start to have these disagreements with one another. And again, they're, as far as I know, they're married. Could be fiance. Who knows? I would hope they're married. But yeah, they have to be married because they have the property in both of their names. And I think they have the same last name. So one thing led to another. Guys having a conversation with the young lady. Disagreements. All of the above. And she walks out. She walks out and tells the dude, yo, you got to leave my house now. Stop the show. Pause for a second. Rewind. Let's hear that one more time. This chick said, you got to get out of my house. Dude, she told this motherfucker who paid for the house that he got to leave her house. Not our house. Her house. Who is to say that that's not accurate? You understand? On paper, who is to say that that's not accurate? You feel me? There's nobody to dispute it because on paper, 60% of that belongs to her, which means she has majority control. And overall, when you have majority control over a company, you are the one that is able to make the decision. If you're 51-49 in ownership, that gives you majority rule. You know, that's just from business standpoint. So even owning a property, if the authorities or anybody's involved in this particular situation, she gonna always win. Say that one more time. Because she is the majority owner of the property. So apparently, I don't know what happened after that. And a lot of y'all are gonna probably think, it was her fault. But it wasn't really her fault that shit went awry. Dude was a bit of a dick. I know I've met people like him, and dude was a bit of a dick. He came through with this fucking flamboyant, I am the shit mentality and attitude that she put up with for probably as long as she could. And again, which makes me further elaborate on the situation that sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, even in the Philippines, the odds are not always in your favor. Even if you think you're in charge, you may not be as in charge as you think that you are, if that makes sense. You can call it cash is king and the whole nine. You're absolutely correct. Cash is motherfucking king. It bought her that fucking property. You understand? So cash is king. Cash is the shit. Cash bought her that house. But now it's her house. You feel me? So we can't go around thinking that just because we bought it, it's ours. Y'all know how the game goes in the Philippines, man. Y'all ain't new to this. We played this game before. We talked about it before. But in this situation, it just made me feel like, damn, sometimes the odds are not always in our favor. If you do dumb shit like that, you can almost guarantee you're going to put yourself in a situation where the odds are going to be against you. Because who are you to argue that the shit doesn't belong to majority her when it's written on paper? You feel me? Next point is, like I said, women are a lot smarter than they lead on sometimes. They are able to make the man feel important, make him feel like he's in charge, but ultimately they are running the show. Trust me. Like I said, too many arguments, talking down to Filipino women may leave you without a house, a home, or all of the above. You talk too much, man, it's going to get your ass in trouble. Again, the odds are not always in your favor if you don't know how to act right. That's the point I'm trying to make. The odds are not always in your favor simply because you have the money. All right? The odds are in your favor because of how you act and how you use the money that you have. So when I tell you that the odds are not always in your favor, it's not from necessarily the monetary standpoint. It's the simple fact that what you use to spend your money on or whatever you choose to buy, you have to realize in the back of your mind, is that going to be mine 10, 20 years from now? Are you buying that to secure somebody else's financial future or your own? Do you have your shit in order? Do you have your shit in order to where shit goes down? It doesn't matter. She's on your team for life. Because I admit, man, sometimes us as foreigners, man, we have arguments with our ladies. We do. I don't care. I'm not afraid to admit it. Sometimes me and my lady, we disagree. I'm not going to sit there and say that we agree on everything. But like I said, I know that deep down inside, we can argue, we can talk shit and be done with it. But I know that maybe an hour or so later, we're going to dinner and we're fine. Like, we'll find our way through that shit. But sometimes you're not going to have that same situation with your young lady. You understand? So you got to be able to read between the lines and understand, even if it is your money that you're putting forward, even if it is the shit that, you know, putting your best foot forward, at the end of the day, just because cash is king, and I agree, doesn't necessarily mean that those odds are going to be in your favor. That money puts you in a better position. That money should increase your odds, but it could also increase your odds to get fucked over. You understand? Let me say that one more time. Yes, money, cash is king, the whole nine. It increases your odds, but it also increases your odds of getting fucked over. That's kind of what I want to focus on too. Like I said, I believe the laws benefit Filipinos more than foreigners. Duh, we already know that. So we have to do our due diligence. Like I said, with the woman you're choosing to deal with, got to make sure that she's on the up and up. Now, a lot of y'all ain't thinking about buying property. That was just the example from today that inspired this live stream. Doesn't necessarily have to be a property. Could be a business, could be anything. It could fall anything under the sun that requires you to do paperwork and put most of anything into the Filipino's name. Sometimes with those situations, the odds are not always in your favor. That's where we're focusing on. Even in the Philippines, the odds are not always in your favor. I want y'all to fuck with me on that one. Make sure you guys get the likes up. I'd appreciate that. Lastly, I want to say you just can't get too cocky, man. Money can't be the know-all, be-all, and it cannot always work all the time. I want you guys to understand, money can't always work all the time. It might be all right for the long haul. Don't get me wrong. Might do you a damn good favor, but sometimes you got to understand that whether we say cash is king or not, it increases your odds of getting fucked over. And that's my spiel, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys definitely had a chance to enjoy this one. Make sure you get the likes up, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. Caress, molest, and de-stress that like button. If you guys want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, good Doc Sap that you come through, spend some time with him today. Now you're on Den. I see we got 20 watching. I appreciate that. Big Money Benny came through first. He says they are always in our favor. I like to believe that too. I was no different than the rest of y'all. I always wanted to believe that the foreigners had the upper hand in any situation. Always wanted to believe that. But over time, you know, you hear about all these stories, the horror stories. We know them. We know them. We're not oblivious to this shit. We hear it. And because we hear it, it keeps us from making these mistakes. But ultimately, on any twist, on any turn, the odds may not always be in our favor. You know what I'm saying? You just have to have that mentality. You have to have that thought process. You have to have that in your head. I got the money. I got the guap. I got it all. But I got to make sure I cover my bases. You know what I'm saying? Got to make sure you do your due diligence. So shout out to my boy Big Money Benny. He said, trust me, if you have cash, you are king. I never said that you are not king. Benny, your situation is a whole lot different than everybody else's. Let me say that. You are not the normal. You do not represent the normal. You represent a little bit above the normal. So in your situation, you may take an L on 100,000 pesos or whatever it may be, but you're good still. Let somebody like myself or probably the majority of the chat take an L on that kind of money. That kind of means something. You understand? That's just the point I'm trying to make. Financial standing definitely plays an important role. But like I said, even in the Philippines, the odds are not always in your favor. Might be a little cheaper spot than where we come from, but at the end of the day, shit gonna cost one way or another. I just want you to feel the perspective I'm coming from. I understand Doc is stretching it a little bit, but that's what I do. I'm here to stretch the brain cells. I'm here to stretch that mindset. Here to make sure y'all understand that Doc is one that's going to make you think of things from multiple perspectives simply because I don't want you coming into this country fucking it up. I don't want you fucking it up for everybody else. Don't want you fucking it up for yourself. I want you to be able to come through and understand that this situation right here is fucking ground zero. You understand? This is a battlefield. You better be ready for war. If the shit push comes to shove, boy, you better be ready. Got to make sure you have people in your corner. My man says, when the odds change and not in our favor, you're a poor as fuck. Benny, you're funny. John Doe says, if you have cash to burn, you are a target too for every scammer, male and female. True that. Rain Man, what's going on with your family? Doc ain't all that late. Juan Reed, this what's going on, man. My man Oahu dude, what's going on? I hope Phnom Penh is treating you well in Cambodia, where the internet sucks, but it's still better than Doc's. Fuck you, bro. We talk about my internet. The minute y'all mention internet, my shit gonna be fucked up. That's why I don't like y'all. The topic for the day on the Philippine casinos. I've been to Filipino casinos. I like that. That rhymes. I've been to Filipino casinos. I don't like them shits at all. Like I said, Doc plays Texas Hold'em. That's my shit. That is my sport of choice. I got two games. I got Lucky 9 and I got Texas Hold'em. I love Texas Hold'em because I don't have to play every hand. You know what I'm saying? I play the hands that I want to. I have a choice. But with Lucky Nine, which is like a version of Baccarat where closest to 9 wins the pot, you know, banker versus player, the whole 9. Love that fucking game. You got to play every time you sit down. You can't just skip a hand just because you don't want to play. Got to play if you're sitting in the seat. So that sucks. And minimum bet is like $6, like 300 pesos, where I play that. So I didn't like that very much. Sometimes you had tables with minimum bets of 1,000. So not feeling that very much. But yeah, even from a Filipino casino standpoint, odds are not always in your favor. Hell, man, any casino you go to, the odds are not always in your favor. But shout out to Benny, man. I see those videos of you winning, Playboy. Don't worry about it. He said, Doc better get here quick before they start jiggling them wires. Man, fuck y'all. I'm here, goddammit. I'm here. Shout out to my man, John Chance. He says, happy Memorial Day. Appreciate it. Blood of my blood. You have the blood of a warrior running through your veins, man. Appreciate that. And salute to all my veterans, man. Like I said, my brother. Shout out to my OG, man. My father, my uncles, both of my grandfathers, everybody's military. Veterans, man. So salute to them. Much love to all of my vets in this bitch. Like I said, Doc gonna keep it moving. John Chance, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the boost of motivation for the good. Doc always needs it. All right. Oahu just said strike down all casinos and lottery tickets. I'll play lottery any day of the week, man. That shit cheap as fuck. But the payout is good for the pick 2. Like $2,000 and shit. That's awesome, man. I could do that all day long. My bad, people. That wasn't the internet. Doc just had his shit on mute for a second. But what's good with my people? My man said Doc had to watch one more video on Pornhub before he came in. Hey, do not judge a man for his porn habits, okay? You should never judge a man based on his porn habits. Sometimes you got to rub one out to get focused. That's all we doing. But we love it, man. We do what we got to do. He said, good catch to find a Filipina that makes more than a guy. She can support the guy like they do for the Pinoys. Yes, that is true. It is always a good thing, but you better not fuck it up. That's the problem. I think he fucked it up. That was his issue. He fucked it up. Oahu just says, biggest disadvantage for me is always the language. Even in the Philippines, try going out with a group of Filipinas and you're the only foreigner, you never have part of a good conversation. Yeah, because they're always having conversations with each other. That sucks. My man says, but how can a Pina in the Philippines make more money than a foreigner? I, the foreigner, not going there, man. Oahu just says, buying property is never in the foreigner's favor. Don't do it, people. For sure. Gun Turn, what's going on, family? I would say I'm going to burn down the house then. I probably would have burnt that bitch too. But he says he deserves it, the fate of a simp and whims, man. San Juan, what's good with your family? MD says, she sounded like the typical American woman. What's yours is mine. What's mine is mine. She must have had a hell of a teacher. But I can honestly tell you, the way the situation sounded, nothing went wrong until he started acting up. Like I said, man, as long as you act right, you're good to go. As long as you act right, you'll be fine. Find a Filipina that does make more money than you. Find a young lady that, you put the property in and you can trust, you're good to go. But sometimes the shit don't work that way. Don't always work that way. And that's the bullshit about it, man. That is what we have to deal with as gentlemen. If you are gentlemen. Some of us are just straight up assholes. Let's be honest. But if you're a gentleman, we'll do what we got to do. Yes, a fool and his money will always part. Olympic class douchebags, man. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to fuck it up for everybody. He says there's a lot of head turning. Oh, I don't know how to say that word all over, but it's he of ugly ones too. That's what's up. My man says any man who does that is a straight up simp. He deserves anything he gets. But like I said, the young lady probably made him feel as if he was in charge. That's where the situation got fucked up. He felt as if he was the man. Any woman can make you feel like you bout that action, but not always the best. You said, what about the racial standpoint? Are the odds in our favor as darker skinned foreigners? Uh, I don't really worry so much about the odds because if you think about whether they prefer white over dark, that's just going to be a conversation that'll never really resolve itself. Again, I will always say, white guys got it. That's not bad. Not even a problem. We get our percentage, we're good to go. That's what I will say. My man Rayman says, did you hear about the retired Filipino American U.S. Marine that killed the barangay captain and his own stepson that were trying to get his house? He held off the police and burned his house. Damn, that dude's fucking. Damn. That man's about that action. My man Casey says that's why you need to be super careful who you end up with. Not everyone is on the same page as you are. Very true. SML says somebody gotta die. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Hey man, it does depend, man. It does depend. Benny's one night in Makati. He told I think the bill was 85,000. Something like that. But he said he's done $1 million in one night. I believe it. He said he can have somebody corroborate that story. I wish he would tell it, but he said he's had $1 million before. Oahu Dude says if anybody in the Philippines knows what you are worth, it will not be in your favor. Very true. My man John Doe says no law in the Philippines benefits a foreigner over a local. Always. John Chan says a way to get around is having trusted Filipino citizens in the United States. You can own a property together 60-40. Take the Filipino you are dating out of the picture in the Philippines. Yeah, I would say put the house in the name of somebody that is a friend of yours. Yeah, me and my Filipino friend have this house. Yeah, bitch, you can live in it, but you can't own it because it's part mine and part my other friend, not me, you, and ours. All right. I can fuck with that. Shout out to my boy Derek Floyd in the building. What's going on, family? I appreciate the shirt you sent me earlier. That shit was funny. Oahu says the only unwritten rule that benefits foreigners over Filipinos apply to walkie street bars. Filipinos get kicked out. Doesn't it make you feel special when you're in a place where you're more wanted than the locals? It would have to be a bar though. Oh damn. My man Big Brother says there was a story of an ex-Marine who killed a couple of people before blowing himself up over property disputes. That shit crazy, man, but it's real. That shit real. Shout out to my boy NY Mets fan. What's good with you? The homeboy Byron, what's good with you, man? Appreciate you coming through, showing love to Fort Hood, Texas. My man Raymond says the roof was on fire, man. He let that motherfucker burn for real. He said the odds are not in your favor if you paid 100,000 pesos for a cherry girl. I think you should get your money back. Shout out to Michael Smith. What's going on, family? Yo, hey, I would love for you to do further investigation on that. I would love to hear that story because that right there is fucking applaud worthy. That is applaud fucking worthy. If it's true, all you can do is sit there and just say, you know what? God damn it, do your thing, buddy. Whether you love him or hate him, that is applaud worthy, in my opinion. Rayman says Jada admitted to having a porn addiction at one point in her life when she was still single. Why is that a problem? Yes, I think we all need to rub one out just before we go live. That way I'm focused. That's all Doc want to do. I just want to be focused. My man John Chan says it's better that you just rent. I believe that. What's the benefit to a foreigner to buy a property? I don't really see the benefit because at the end of the day, you're stuck with that property. I'm the type of person, I love to move around. I will probably steadfast be in a place as long as I can. And if you do the mathematics of how much you pay in rent per month, per year, times that by how long you can stay in that property before you actually reach the actual value of that property, 9 times out of 10, you'll always come out cheaper renting than buying, especially in the Philippines. It's not supposed to be that way, but most of the time it is. My man Michael Smith says, I would not buy land at least unless my kid is born in the Philippines, and then I would put it in his or her name only. I will not let my girlfriend or wife have the land. See, the thing that I don't like about that whole idea, I understand the thought process behind it, but ultimately, mothers are fucking manipulative, and you don't want anybody manipulating your child into signing documents that would sign that shit over, because sometimes they do that. So you have to have a good guardian in place to make sure that that never happens. Heaven forbid she tries to take advantage of the child and get you all fucked up like that. My man says odds are not in your favor if you trying to break your Filipina's bad habits on her cell phone. You will fail. Yes, Filipinos love their cell phones. Just leave that shit in front of their face. It ain't going anywhere, okay? They will not part with the cell phone. The younger ones will not. The older ones, you might be able to convince them otherwise. I've been able to have conversations with my girl without my cell phone, which is awesome. We've had pretty good conversations by putting our cell phones away and talking to each other on date nights and shit. Sometimes that shit just don't work out. So, if you can't have a conversation, you gotta let it go. Shout out to my boy Jamal. What's going on, family? My man says odds are not in your favor when you go out with a group of Filipinos to dinner and the check arrives. You know damn well you're paying for that. Man. San Juan, your odds are just fine, man. Don't worry about it, bro. If you speak Spanish and they think you're Spanish, you might have a better chance than most of us do, especially me. But yeah, man, you might be all right. Like I said, man, we all have a chance, bro. Never ever believe that you can't come here and get somebody. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. My man says, does that actually work when you put land in your Filipino child's name? It does work. Yeah. It does. Well, yeah, it should work. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to. It's more or less securing that child's financial future. Yeah, that child ain't gonna pay nothing on it. As long as the properties and titles get paid for, you should be able to do that. But it might have to be set up through a trust, which is a little bit different and costly too. Setting up living trust is like fucking expensive. Shout out to my boy Frederick Mason from the great state of North Carolina. What's good with you? He said, what about buying condos as well? Condos, as far as I know, foreigners can still own those solely. I've never heard of them saying that Filipino must be part owner of your condominium unit. I haven't heard that yet. I don't believe that to be accurate. So, yeah. But I'm with a Wahoo dude. Excuse me, guys. Like I said, Doc's been battling this bullshit bug. But yeah, I'm with a Wahoo dude, man. Quality of the new condos going up suck. Nothing like what they used to be. Nothing like what they used to be. Casey says, I feel you only buy property when you're ready to settle down. Very true. And I mean really ready to settle down. Like kids and the whole nine of shit. You got to be ready for all that. My man Derek says, yeah, he said that's what I'm doing too. I'm putting land in my child's name. You should. I believe it should work. It shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem at all. But the quality of condominiums in the United States are horrible. Shout out MD, man. Go ahead, man. I appreciate you coming through, bro. My boy DE Raptor in the building. What's going on, man? I know you're a very, very you're a connoisseur of sorts when it comes to dealing with properties and things like that. Let us understand your thought process on the quality of the condominium units and thinking about buying properties and putting properties in people's names if you cannot put it in your own name. Tell me what you think. Appreciate you coming through. My boy Wahoo says, if you're in love and think of buying her land to secure her future, then it's okay. Just be in position to kiss it all away. You should always put it in your mind that this could be lost at one time or another. That is a firm belief, my friend. Firm fucking belief. Always keep it in your head that shit may not be yours tomorrow. If you take the time to put that shit into your Filipina's name, just know that there is a probability, should shit go wrong and shit hit the fan, that shit gonna be gone. And if you're okay with that, like I said, man, you should be able to live life beautifully because of it. My man Casey says, I'd rather pay for a bill in the Philippines than the US. I pay for my girl's whole family and it would only cost $60 in the States. We're going to be washing dishes. Facts. Oh shit, hold on guys. I gotta look at something. All right. My man John Chan says, so if a person is retired and makes about 8 or 9K a month, then that's a problem in the Philippines. It's only a problem if you tell them that you make $8,000 to $9,000 a month, man. It's only a problem if you let them know. That is a fantastic amount of money, dude. You're talking about close to $400,000, if not more. That's a lot. It give or take maybe 450, because I think 10K is about 500,000. So if you're bringing in 9K, you're bringing in about 450,000 pesos a month. It's only a problem if you let people know that's how much money you have. Never let them know how much money you have. Like I said, the only reason they should ever know about your financial situation is if it's on a USIS Visa K1 setup where she is required to know what kind of money you have in order for the embassy to know. Other than that, nobody should know how much money anybody brings in, especially when it's an amount that large. That's scary. I would be scared to know that people know that that is the amount of money that I bring in, because at the end of the day, that makes me a target. I'm already a target and I ain't got no money. And that's an interesting bid, man. I'm already a target and I ain't got shit. Imagine if I do have something. Makes it 10 times worse. So you just got to be careful with the way you choose to navigate and how much information you choose to divulge. We've talked about that before. How much information is too much information. You know, we did a video on that, a live stream, probably about a couple months ago. But at the end of the day, you should always be careful, because, again, I tell you, the odds are not always in your favor, especially when people are aware of your financial situation. They already believe foreigners are rich, okay? It's almost impossible to convince a Filipina or a Filipino person in general that you're broke. That's the funny part. It's almost impossible to convince them that you're broke, because they say, oh, you're from the United States. Of course you got money, or you wouldn't be here. So that's why it's impossible to convince them that you're broke. So your only best bet is to convince them that you're on a fixed income. Yes, I saved up my money so that I could come here, but I can only afford X amount per month. That's all that I make, and that's all that I'm able to live off of. Yes, it's good enough for me. It's comfortable for me. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm on a fixed budget. And once a Filipina knows that and understands that, she knows there's money coming in, and it's likely more money than she'll get with her Filipino local partner. So that's why she's probably going to stay around and be able to help you out. Again, I'm not going to say she doesn't love you. I'm just saying in general, if you're bringing in more cash flow, even if it is on a fixed income, maybe you're saying you're making $1,000 a month, 40,000 pesos a month. You're paying this for your bills, this, that, and the other. Bam. If she's aware of that, like I said, she can either be there to help or make it worse. It's completely up to her. And you too. Like I said, guys, we got 26 watching. I appreciate all 26 of y'all coming through and showing love to the good doc. Doc, appreciate you being here. I appreciate you guys getting the likes up. Make sure you caress, molest, and de-stress yourself all over that like button. That is the reason why it is called the like button. It wants it, it needs it, and it most definitely has to have it. Appreciate you guys coming through and showing love. Definitely awesome to have you guys in the building today. All right. Shit, what else we got? If you guys want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, good doc is happy that you come through, spend just a little bit of your time with him today. Now let me get back to my topics, because I was fucked up. My man Michael Smith says, instead of getting a condo, go for a container, like I said, and convert it into a home. I like those. Just lease the land and put the containers out there. I thought that was always a good idea too. He said, I believe there is a rule for condo building where the majority of the condo owners have to be locals. Only so many foreign owners each building, percentage wise. Didn't know that, but that could be true. Shout out to the homie Pops Martin. He says Trump is going to have a press conference tomorrow saying he will resign. Yeah, we'll see about that. Looks like they got something that's very damaging to him. I don't think that he going to resign, man. But if it does happen, Pops, I'm going to come back and say, damn it, you were right. Oahu says, if you make $8K a month, you can live anywhere in the world. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the Philippines. For sure, it doesn't have to be the Philippines. Rayman says, can I have a building where the majority of the condo owners are only foreigners? I'm not surprised about that. Shout out to the boy Anti-Gravity, man. What's going on with you? You said that, Harold, that dude got money, man. He's fine. He makes pretty good money. He's got a pretty successful YouTube channel, Sam Wine, so I'm not surprised. If he does that, that's what he wants to do with his money. I'm not against him for doing it. I don't think it's a tax write-off or a charity write-off, but he did it, so that's good for him. He said, that's crazy. For me, I come from a place where ownership is king. I just have an aversion to renting and buying land. Can be too much of a hassle. Yeah, buying land can be too much of a hassle. Pops, if that is true, then isn't Mike Pence gonna be the president? If that's the case. Big Brother says, to be fair to Filipinos, though, what's the difference with the West? Blokes lose it all if they divorce, half if they're lucky. No matter what happened, the house goes almost always to wifey. You're right. I mean, I think you'll take less of a loss in the Philippines than you'll probably take in the United States. And this brings me to the story of Kenny Smith. How many of you guys know about Kenny Smith, the inside the NBA broadcaster whose wife is trying to garnish his paycheck for child support and spousal support? This bitch wants $16K for the kids, two of them, and $28,000 for herself. You mean to tell me that you care more about yourself than you care for your kids? It lets you further know, my man, you cannot get far. You cannot get so far. You can only get but so far in the United States. And I think that bitch, she hit the wall, man. She's cute. She is a model, but she old model. She old. She ain't gonna never find nobody to fuck with her. Not really. You might get lucky, but ultimately, she's just gonna be single forever and trying to get into that man's money, man. But that is the way of the world, ladies and gentlemen. Marry somebody rich, stick with him long enough, have kids with them, take his money. At least in the Philippines, I think that you have more rights parental wise because you can afford to take care of the child. I do believe that should shit hit the fan, even if you're not married and you have to go to court, you'll be able to pay your court fees. Maybe she won't. But at the end of the day, it's like this. They'll look at you as the more financially capable person of taking care of that child. And as long as your name is on the birth certificate, you should be all right. The way I see it. My man Pop says, he said Dr. Mike is on my side. He thinks that Donald has been toxic for the nation. Like I said, man, Donald Trump has had his moments, man. I'll tell you that. He's had his moments. But like I said, you got Mike Pence now. If that's the case, that's next in line. The good old boy from Indiana, right? I'm not saying, but I'm saying. My man Anti-Gravity said he Trump 2020, man. Like I said, if this man resigns, I will be fucking shocked. That man don't back down for shit. Like, I mean, he don't back down from nothing. They virtually try to put this man under the bus with this Mueller report and the whole nine. He ain't back down from that shit, so we'll see. He said, I'm going to ask him to make U.S. ambassador to the Philippines. I wish he would make me the ambassador to the Philippines. I'd fucking live life for real, for real. I would live my life, no doubt. My man John Chan says, why would anyone buy if they can only own 40%? Doesn't make financial sense. Just rent or lease. Very true. Yeah, Hitman is cheaper. My man Michael Smith says, to prevent from losing the house, you need to set it up in a living trust. Yeah, but those are expensive. If you guys don't know, living trusts are expensive. He said, especially if you get it before you're married to her, so she cannot touch it. So you got to put the kid's name in it before y'all get married. So y'all got to have married. You got to get married before you have kids, or you have to have kids before you get married. Jesus. He says you can put the property in your child's name if the child is over the age of 4, but if you are right about creating a trust. Yes, creating a trust is true, but creating a living trust is really, really, really expensive. Like, that shit's expensive. It's different to leave something to a person when you pass away. But to create a living trust, as in this is the way you're going to take care of somebody while you're living and while they're still living throughout the rest of their natural life, that shit can be costly, people. Gotta understand how that shit go. Shit can be costly like a motherfucker. Anyways, like I said, man, I see we got 30 watching. I appreciate all 30 of y'all coming through, showing love to the good Doc. Doc needs it. Doc is feeling under the weather. I'm telling you, got the nasal allergies. I've been sneezing and coughing a little bit. I guess I got to sweat it out tomorrow, man. I'll probably go out, hit the gym a little bit, try to sweat this cold out. I don't know what it's going to take, but I'll be all right. Some ibuprofen or some shit. But yeah, man, God, take care of them living trusts, man. Them shits is expensive. There is no such thing as high quality Filipino bar girls unless she is still in her. Yeah. You said Derek, in the Philippines, a hitman is certainly cheaper. You could pay 20,000 pesos get you a hitman though. I think I saw a show where they paid 20K and somebody got murked. Shout out to my boy Ed in the building. What's going on? What's going on, Heminger? He says, too much competition in the Philippines now. Going on the greener pastures now, where there are very few foreigners. Many girls want to hook up and shack up. So, where is greener pastures? If not the Philippines, where are you heading, my fellow gentleman of the world, fellow worldly individual? The 40% works because shit, that's it. 60% goes to, how does the 40% work? If you sell the property, you get 40% of the profits. I guess. I don't know. I still think it's bullshit. Living trust on average in the US is around 2K. I think it does depend on how much. Well, 2K is not really that bad, but I guess it does depend on what you're planning on living in a living trust. Tony Towers, you can get, shout out to my boy Tony. You can get a motorcycle there. Foreigners can have motorcycles, man. You see these YouTubers have motorcycles. You see Rike. I think Rike had a motorbike or something. Even God rest his soul, No Joke Howard. Shout out to him, man. I was sad to hear that shit. Even though that happened a while ago, I didn't speak on it because, like I said, I didn't know a man personally, so I don't talk about shit that I don't know about. But I think even he had like a motorbike to get around. But you see all of these foreigners, like what's his name, Kyle Jimmerman and Kulas, whatever that dude's name is, and Finn Snow. You see these guys have these motorbikes, so I think foreigners can own motorbikes without a problem. You have to create an irrevocable living trust. You don't need to have children or be married. San Juan, when the Doc is back, Doc is gonna run the fucking Philippines. I'm telling you, I'm gonna run that bitch. Y'all don't understand. Season 2 is gonna be awesome, guys. Season 2 is gonna be packed full of adventures, good videos, the whole nine, good quality videos. Y'all don't understand, man. I've been preparing myself for this. Ever since I got back, I've been literally preparing myself for season 2. Season 1 was simply just to get back into the groove of things and seeing things that I felt worth recording. Now, I'm going balls to the wall, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to do it for my people. I'm going to do it for y'all. So y'all just make sure y'all stay tuned, all right? Team Dab out in this bitch all the way until the day that we die. Shout out to my crew, the BOOTYLOO crew. Much love to my people out there. Well, Hemi, I understand, brother. You don't have to tell me anything. Like I said, Davao hasn't quite been fucked up yet, so I'm good. I'm good. So my man Hemi says, but I will tell you there ain't no one here going there. That's for sure. I'm even learning the language. Hey, man, preparation, I fucks with that. If you prepare yourself right, you ain't got to worry about nobody. Learn the language, my friend. It's where it starts. So it must be a place off the beaten path. I fucks with you. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, Dr. Mike, I wish I could be 2020, but I'm going to be the ambassador of the Philippines. That's all I want to do. Let me be the U.S. ambassador to the Philippines. All I want to do. I don't give a fuck about doing nothing else. I will retire in that position. I will die in that position. Casey, you're right, man. But let that man be. Let that man be. Motorcycle can be in your name as far as I believe, Tony, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Sam one, that's real. No joke, Howard did pass away. John Chen says it's better to own property in the States than to rent in the Philippines. Do you really want to be traveling back and forth in the Philippines when you're 80 years old? No. Dr. Mike, who would you choose to be your vice president? I have to choose somebody in the Philippines blogging community to be my vice president. My VP, like somebody who has a legit YouTube channel. HT Logistics, man, no doubt in my mind. I choose my big brother HT. If I had to choose one person to be my VP, if I was president of the Philippine vlogging community, it would be HT Logistics, 3434 for the VP. Of course, my boy Black American expat, man, he'd probably be like the secretary, sergeant at arms and some shit. You know, gotta make sure you keep your crew together. But these are actual YouTubers. Like, if he chose people that were just participating in the chat, it'd be different. Mm. They're gonna respect my G, bro. Just wait. Y'all think I'm playing, man. Y'all don't know how much preparation I've been putting into season 2. Like I said, I don't talk about it all the time. I just want to show y'all. I can't wait to show y'all, man. Well, Hemi, you're right, though. My situation is a little bit different, but I hope that your situation works out the way that you want it to, man. Yes, Oahu, dude, I cannot wait. Season 2, excuse me, we're definitely going to go to new places, man. That was what's got me so excited. Yes, you guys know Davao. I'll always love Davao, but I definitely want to put new shit on the vlog, you dig? So that's what's going to make season 2 important for me. Guys, I'm sorry. Like I said, man, Doc's going through it. I'll be all right, though. Derek says, I had to remind my girl I'm celebrating American birthday culture. I'm not buying shit. Shit. Give me, just you can leave it. Shit. Big brother, you is my favorite big brother whose name is Big Brother. You're my favorite big brother whose name is Big Brother. But if I had to choose a VP, I don't know, man. See, y'all trying to make it hard on me. But like I said, man, I would definitely have fun. You know you're my favorite big brother whose name is Big Brother. There you go. I fucks with that one. Bama could be in my administration. Shit, Bama know how to stretch a dollar, man, so he might be a financial dude. I'll be real with you. If you want to keep it real, that dude Bama know how to stretch a fucking dollar. So he might be in the budgeting and financing and the housing committee. I mean, I don't know what kind of position that is, but because that man seemed to be making his budget last longer than your average would, he deserves to be in a position where he can help the doc stretch that dollar. I fucks with that. So yes, he would get a position in the administration. Oh man. Anti-gravity, you crazy, man. You guys are trying to guess where Hemi's going, man. Let that man be. Let that man be. Pops Martin, there is no solid. Well, to be honest with you, somebody said they reached out to his family, and I don't really see why that would be something that a person would do. In all honesty, that just seems foul if they would do something like that. So I couldn't understand the reason why a person would lie about something like that. I mean, I couldn't understand why a person would lie about that. I mean, I'm going to take it at face value simply because there's no reason for anybody to lie about something so real. You know, for something like that to happen and for nobody to speak up on, like, for him to come back or anybody speak up on his behalf to say, nah, that's bullshit. Nah, I can't see that. Not this long. Not this long. My man John Chan says it's important to maintain relationships with family in the U.S. and family in the Philippines. One must always think long term. Yes, John Chance, you think like my boy. Shout out to my boy DE Raptor, man. That's how my boy thinks. He told me a story. He even shared the story on the interview we had. You guys couldn't hear it very well, but he's explaining to me, you know, you always got to make sure you have family on both sides. Just in case one side gets real fucked up, you have another side to run to. So you got to make sure that you keep yourself on the up and up and always thinking long term. I like that thought process. I fuck with you on that. Don't just completely disown everybody in the States because then you have nothing to come back to. Don't completely disown everything that you have in the Philippines because you still, if you want to come back and enjoy yourself, you still want to be able to link up with people and hang out. I mean, don't get me wrong, coming to the Philippines and hanging out by yourself is not necessarily a bad thing, but you could do better things, you know? So, yeah. Well, Anti-Gravity, you're already the chief operating officer of the BOOTYLOO Investment Corporation. So the economic attaché to the Philippines, you can have that role, sir. Oh wow, dude, that's funny. No, they will not. They will not take time to learn a language. I agree 100%. He said, Dr. Mike cookie cutter of getting on Cupid and flying to the next Cebu don't work in this day and age. A lot of things are different, man. I have to agree. Again, we have to understand that even in the Philippines, the odds are not always in our favor. I got to make sure I say that one more time. mm. Ah, shit. He said, where had. Yo, San Juan, I've been trying to make that happen, yo. I'm going to see if I can make that happen. I promise you. I wanted to make that happen myself, but we'll get it right. Casey, I need a bodyguard too, fam. You got. I need a bodyguard, man. Your qualifications for being a bodyguard, if you're gonna drive, I mean, I gotta make sure I got somebody who can protect and serve, son. Because at the end of the day, if Doc is an important person, I don't want to die over this shit. You feel me? I ain't trying to die over this shit. Well, Casey, you got the job, son. Prior military works for me. Long as you can handle an AK, I'm all right, fam. I am all right. Oh man. All right, people. Like I said, man, Doc gonna close it out now. I just got back. I'm sorry. Feeling myself, feeling fucked up right now. But all right, guys, I'm gonna shout my people out. You jinxed it. Fuck it. It was good, man. It was good while it lasted. Shout out to my boy Ed, Oahu dude. Hemi, what's going on, Shane? He says, bro. He said, when I went to the Philippines, me and my brother cleaned house. You just gotta be yourself and don't do too much. And he says he's 6'9" and I'm 6'6", so we got to be humble and chill. You stick out like a sore thumb, fam. So Shane Powell, much love to you, family. Appreciate you coming through. SML, much love to you, my G. My boy Tony Towers, man. Appreciate you coming through. My man Sam Juan, always good to show some love, man. John Doe, much love. My man Casey Hunter, Anti-Gravity 74, appreciate y'all coming through. Rain Man, always a pleasure, man. I'm gonna get you all out. Pops Martin, appreciate you coming through. My boy Wahoo Dude, my big brother. Don't take it personal. Shout out to the homie Derek Floyd. Always here to show love to the good doc, man. I'm gonna come on tomorrow, guys, and I think that's gonna be my last one this week. Gotta take care of some shit. John Chance, man, appreciate you coming through and showing love to the good doc. Who else we got? We got my boy Jamal, appreciate you being here. My boy DE Raptor, always a pleasure, fam. Appreciate you being here in the building. Michael Smith, I see you. Appreciate you guys coming through. Make sure you guys get your likes up on the way out this bitch. Doc would appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. My boy MD, I know you're out. Michael V, appreciate you. My boy Frederick Mason from the great state of North Carolina. You know I'm going to say that shit. Hank Hillman, Helium. Sorry. Yeah. Fucking with you, my dude. NY Mets fan, always a pleasure. I know I got John Doe. I'm going to say your name again just in case I missed it. SML, appreciate you. And I think I'm good. Gun Term, 2009, man. Long time no see, brother. Appreciate you being here, showing some love to the doc for a minute. I think I'm good. And shout out to the boy Big Money Benny, of course, man. I cannot forget Benny. Much love to my boy. Appreciate it. And Juan Rivas, what's going on, family? And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It has been fun. It has been real. Doc's going to scroll down to the bottom, make sure I didn't miss nobody. I think I'm good. My boy Steve, what's going on, man? Long time no see, family. Good to see you back in the building, man. Good to see you back here. Let me see what we got. John Chen says the odds may not be in your favor, but you can change the odds if you set a clear precedent in the beginning of the relationship. Salute to you. Fucking with that one. Observer Melanin, what's going on with you, my brother? Appreciate you coming through. Shout out to my boy Steve. Steve, it's been a minute, bro. Ain't seen you in a while, man. I hope all is well with you. And like I said, Oahu dude, man, I hope Cambodia treats you well, my friend. You got to tell us some stories when we link up, man. One day we should go out for drinks, bro. Shane, you back in the U.S., fam? Like I said, man, we enjoy our trips in the Philippines, man, because they're fucking awesome. All right? So with that being said, I think that we've touched on everything that we possibly could. Doc is officially out. At least Nicole. Alam, which means we're going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita, mabuhay. Peace.